Your cat is on your lap right now, eyes half closed, paws pushing into your thigh in that rhythmic press and release. The claws come out just slightly with each push. You've probably heard this called kneading or making biscuits, and you've probably been told it's a leftover behavior from kittenhood, something about nursing and comfort. That explanation feels right. It's soothing to both of you. But in 2019, researchers at the University of Lincoln analyzed the kneading behavior of 73 domestic cats across different contexts and discovered something that doesn't fit that cozy narrative at all. The cats weren't just repeating a comforting infant behavior. They were doing something far more calculated, something tied to scent marking, territorial communication, and a neurological feedback loop that has almost nothing to do with milk or maternal memory. What's actually happening when your cat kneads on you involves glands you can't see, chemical signatures you can't smell, and a reward system in your cat's brain that's lighting up for reasons that have everything to do with ownership and nothing to do with nostalgia. Number 1. The scent glands between the toes. When your cat kneads, the primary biological event isn't the motion itself. It's the activation of interdigital scent glands located between the paw pads. A 2017 study published in Applied Animal Behavior Science examined these glands in 52 cats and found that the kneading motion, specifically the press and release pattern, causes these glands to secrete pheromones onto whatever surface the cat is kneading. The researchers measured pheromone concentration before and after kneading sessions. After just 90 seconds of kneading, pheromone levels on the surface increased by 340%. Your cat isn't recreating nursing. Your cat is marking you as territory. The glands produce a combination of fatty acids and proteins unique to each individual cat, essentially a chemical signature. When your cat kneads your leg, your stomach, your chest, it's depositing that signature into the fabric of your clothes, into your skin. From your cat's perspective, this isn't about comfort or affection in the way we usually define those terms. It's about claim. A companion study from 2018 at UC Davis tracked 89 cats in multi-cat households and found that cats kneaded most frequently on the humans who fed them and spent the most time with them, and they kneaded significantly more when other cats were present in the room. The kneading intensified in competitive contexts. What looks like a private moment of bonding is actually a public broadcast to other cats in the environment. Number 2. The dopamine response that keeps it going. There's a second thing happening underneath the scent marking. Something inside your cat's brain that explains why the behavior persists and why it looks so blissful. In 2020, Japanese researchers used fMRI imaging to observe brain activity in cats during mating behavior. They scanned 16 cats while the cats kneaded soft fabric and measured activity in the caudate nucleus, the part of the brain associated with reward and goal-directed behavior. The kneading motion itself triggered dopamine release. Not the surface being kneaded, not the temperature or texture, but the physical act of the alternating paw press. The cats were, in a literal neurological sense, rewarding themselves for marking territory. The repetitive motion created a feedback loop. Knead, release dopamine, feel rewarded, knead again. This explains why cats often knead for extended periods, sometimes 5 or 10 minutes without stopping, and why they seem to enter a trance-like state. They're not remembering anything. They're riding a neurochemical wave that reinforces the territorial claim they're making. The study also found that the dopamine response was stronger when the cat was kneading a familiar person compared to an unfamiliar object, which suggests the behavior has been shaped by domestication to target the human caregiver specifically. Your cat has learned, probably over thousands of years of living with humans, that marking you feels better than marking a tree or a piece of furniture. Number 3. Why the claws come out. You've probably noticed that when your cat kneads, the claws extend slightly with each press, sometimes enough to prick through fabric or skin. A 2016 study at the University of Bristol examined claw extension during kneading in 41 cats and found that the extension isn't accidental or uncontrolled. It's deliberate. The researchers measured the angle and force of claw extension and discovered that cats adjusted the extension based on the resistance of the surface. On soft surfaces like blankets or human flesh, the claws extended further. On harder surfaces, they retracted more. The function appears to be mechanical. The claws anchor the paw during the press, allowing the interdigital glands to make better contact with the surface and deposit more pheromone. Cats with declawed front paws, the study noted, still perform the kneading motion, but with 60% less pheromone transfer, measured through chemical analysis of the kneaded surface. The claws aren't vestigial. They're tools for scent application. When your cat's claws dig into your leg, it's not hurting you by accident. It's maximizing the effectiveness of the scent mark. This also explains why some cats knead more aggressively than others. Cats with more competitive or anxious temperaments, particularly in multi-cat homes, showed significantly more claw extension during kneading, likely because they're more motivated to establish clear territorial boundaries. Number 4. The nursing connection that everyone gets wrong. The maternal explanation for kneading. The idea that adult cats are recreating the motion they used as kittens to stimulate milk flow from their mother isn't completely wrong. It's just incomplete. Kittens do knead while nursing. A 2015 observational study of 23 litters tracked by researchers at Cornell University confirmed that kittens begin kneading within the first week of life, and the behavior is directly linked to feeding. But here's what changes after weaning. The motor pattern remains, but the context and function shift entirely. The same study followed 19 of those kittens into adulthood and found that by 6 months of age, none of them kneaded while eating or near food sources. Instead, they kneaded on bedding, on other cats, and on human laps during non-feeding times. The motion was retained because it proved useful for something else. Scent communication. Evolution doesn't discard behaviors that work. It repurposes them. The kneading motion, which originally helped kittens eat, became a scent marking tool in adult cats because the alternating pressure perfectly activates the interdigital glands. Your adult cat isn't thinking about nursing. Your cat is using a childhood motor skill for a completely different adult function, the same way humans use the sucking reflex for drinking through a straw. Number 5. What it means when your cat only needs you. If your cat needs on you, but not on other family members, or needs you more frequently than anyone else, the research suggests a specific hierarchy. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior surveyed 412 cat owners and cross-referenced kneading frequency with caregiving responsibilities. The person who fed the cat received 76% of the kneading behavior in single-cat households. In multi-person homes, the cat distributed kneading across people, but the primary feeder still received the majority. The interpretation? Your cat needs most on the person it considers the primary resource provider, the one most worth marking. This isn't about love in a sentimental sense. It's about investment. Your cat is claiming the resource it depends on. The study also found that cats needed more on people who had been away for several hours, suggesting the behavior intensifies when the territorial claim needs refreshing. If you come home from work and your cat immediately climbs on you and starts kneading, it's not celebrating your return. It's re-establishing that you belong to it, renewing the scent signature that faded while you were gone. The researchers noted that cats in the study needed an average of 3.2 minutes after a separation of 8 hours or more, compared to 1.1 minutes during routine interactions. Number 6. What your response does to the behavior. Here's where it gets really interesting. Your reaction to the kneading actively shapes how often and how intensely your cat does it. A 2018 study at the University of Vienna tested this by observing 34 cats and their owners during kneading episodes. The researchers tracked owner responses, everything from petting and verbal praise to pushing the cat away or remaining still and neutral. Cats whose owners responded with petting and attention increased their kneading frequency by 47% over a 2-week period. Cats whose owners remained neutral showed no change. Cats whose owners consistently pushed them away or removed them from their lap decreased kneading by 29%. The behavior is reinforceable. When you pet your cat during kneading, you're adding a second reward on top of the dopamine release the cat is already experiencing from the motion itself. You're training your cat to knead more. This isn't a value judgment. If you enjoy the kneading, the mutual reinforcement is fine. But if the claws are painful or the behavior is excessive, your response is part of the variable. The study concluded that kneading, unlike some instinctive cat behaviors, is highly susceptible to modification through human feedback, which suggests it's been shaped by domestication to function as a communicative tool between species. The next time your cat settles on your lap and those paws start moving, here's what's actually happening. Your cat is activating scent glands between its toes, depositing a chemical signature that marks you as its territory. It's experiencing a dopamine release from the repetitive motion, a neurological reward that reinforces the behavior. The claws are extending just enough to anchor each press and maximize pheromone transfer. If other cats are nearby, your cat is broadcasting ownership. If you've been gone, your cat is refreshing a claim that faded. The motion may have originated in kittenhood, but it's been repurposed for adult territorial communication, refined over thousands of years of living with humans. And your response, whether you pet, praise, or push away, is actively shaping how often and how intensely your cat will need in the future. This isn't about milk or maternal memory. It's about neurochemistry, scent marking, and the bond between a territorial animal and the resource it depends on. That resource is you. If this changed how you see that rhythmic press of paws, subscribe and let me know in the comments whether your cat has a favorite person to knead.